Today we are going to be doing an impressions of this. Now I've spent quite a few hours on this. I've actually had a break for quite a few days, not because of Christmas, but simply I've been down with flu, with cold, with sickness, you name it. I've had it. It's been an awful last week, so I haven't really done a lot. I'm still not well. I'm actually improving, so that's a good thing. But I did want to get this video out. Like I said, I have spent quite a few hours on it. We are now up to level 30. I'll probably jump around in this video a bit. It'll be chopped up and that, showing you this, that and the other. And what like I say, my impressions are of it. Now, I first heard about this game when I was playing Skyforge, because a lot of the Skyforge communities seem to be quite hyped about it. There's been quite a bit of hype around this game. So that's where I came across it. But I can tell you now, it is nothing like Skyforge. It's not even close to being like Skyforge. So if you're expecting something like Skyforge, you're not going to get it. As we go along, we'll open these gifts up that we keep getting, because they give you these sort of being in here for so long. It's just credits. I suppose in-game currency you turn these gold bars into. These I can't remember. Now the thing is with this game, what you're going to see is like this. First of all, the whole layout, the UI, it is very busy. Now, with all credit to it, you can actually turn a lot of this off, which is brilliant because it is just too much. I prefer a nice clear screen. You can actually clear it right down. I leave these bits up because I play in a different way. I've actually changed my key settings now, so when we run around like this, when we want to go to the UI, I have to hit out to come out to get the arrow to do stuff, which is interesting, but it's the only way I can really do it. We'll work with it. You'll see here you've got your character development. Is a very complex game. There is so much to it. Now I've run into a few little issues. One of the issues is I've got to do a mission to be able to go to another area. I've got to let me see if I can see it on here. No, I have to do some sort of, it's just basics missions, I think. But one of them is I've got to go to this area and I've got to go into this place and fight something, but I have to group. So straight away, I don't like that. I mean, I don't mind grouping, that's not the problem. The problem is some people like to solo play. I used to solo play a lot. Well, most of my life has been solo playing, not so much multiplayer. And to be pushed into having to join up with people to go and do a mission to get through it, sort of thing, and all that, especially if you don't know how to group with people and that, I just don't like it, and that would put me off straight away. Now, if you're new to MMOs and that sort of thing, I think you're going to struggle with this game. The problem with this game is, one, it's very, very, I say complex. There's a lot going on. It might not be necessarily complex, but there's a lot going on. Like I say, in the, I mean, that's your inventory. If we bring up our, this is your path. We can't get there, like I say, because we need to do one of these, which involves grouping, and we haven't got around to that. You've got all these sort of production of life. You've got factions you can join. You've got, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that does. I have no idea what that is either. Coins, God knows what. There's just so much going on in here. It's just really confusing. And what makes it more confusing is, obviously, it's a foreign game. You know, it's from China or somewhere around there in one of the Asian countries, and a lot of it is still in Chinese. And what you're going to find through the game as well is when you're doing the missions, you'll get the dialogue boxes will come up. I don't know if we can actually speak to somebody. Maybe we can speak to this person. No. Well, anyway, you'll get your dialogue boxes come up. Now, when you start off with the prologue, all the speech is in Chinese, I take it. And you'll get your boxes that come up in English. Well, once you get past the prologue, a lot of those boxes still come up in Chinese basically, and you cannot understand. You have to make choices using the Chinese language. So that's the first thing that's a problem. I mean, they probably will change it. If you don't like reading stuff, I'm not a fan of reading tons and tons of text. You're going to run into that problem as well, because it's box after box of text. Now the other thing which I found has made the game, it's very useful, this is, but it also makes the game very boring. Now I can't actually get here because it won't go there for some reason. We'll do this. Now this is, you can see we've got wings. This is auto pathing. You basically click on it and it will take you to your mission. But what's happening is you click on it, you go to your mission, you click on your character, you get a load of text, half it you won't be able to understand. Then it'll give you XP points, then they'll give you another mission, you click on it, you might stay there, you might go somewhere else, and then you just keep clicking, and you just auto path there, auto path back, click on the mission, get your XP, auto path there, and you can literally just sit there with the mouse clicking until you actually have to go to a mission where you fight. Actually, this is taking me to the mission which I can't get through because I've got to group with people, and I haven't actually grouped with anybody in this game yet, so I have no idea how to do it anyway. Even though I've actually reached level 30, you level up so quick in this game, it's crazy. So that was a bad auto path example because I can't actually do that mission because of the group thing. Like I say, I haven't actually grouped with anybody yet, so I don't even know how to do it. So it's an annoyance because, like, I just want to, you know, quite often want to play a game without necessarily grouping with others. If I want to do that, then I'll go and do it. But if I'm being forced into it, then it just puts me off the game straight away. So, like I say, it'll go through the zones as well, take you to where you need to go. It'll either use your wings or your horse. The horse is actually quite funny because when you turn the horse, it just leans. I mean, it literally just leans over. It's the same when she runs as well. She literally just leans left and right. She doesn't actually sort of, you know, change her stance. She just leans, and it's really weird looking, especially the horse. The horse looks like it's going to fall over. So. Oh, this is locked in. It says go to the north pass, but I can't go to the north path because I can't do the group thing, which means I can't get past this area. So again, but basically this is what happens. It auto brings you here. Now normally this would be, you just hit the text button a couple of times and then complete, and that's all you do. And I've literally done that, and it's got me up to level 30. Like I said, I've been in a few fights, done a few trials and things. Get away from that water, it's so loud. Now I've turned we had a problem with the sound last time because every time you disconnect, all the sound and everything that you set up defaults back to whatever defaults it is, which is pretty annoying, but you know, hopefully that'll be sorted out after the beta. Right, let's get rid of these wings a minute. Yeah, so there's your world. Yeah, so basically all I'm doing is auto-pathing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I'm literally just sitting here with the mouse going click, 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 and that's all I'm doing. I mean, it may be very complex, and there is a lot to the game, and you'd have to learn a lot, but at the moment, to get to level 30 has just been a piece of cake. I mean, I haven't had to do anything, just sit there clicking. And sitting there clicking, although it's nice and easy for some people, it's also exceedingly boring. I just want to go and play Tetris or something. Let's see what this gold... I don't know what these are, I've never come across this. Pick up. Pick up. I mean, they just keep throwing stuff at you. I mean, that's stuff they keep giving me, and I have no idea what I'm doing with it all. But let's have a look. Sit here. So, the egg is a symbol of fortune. It said that the more stars it has on it, the greater the rewards. And the rewards are fortune egg ticket. It's just trading stuff. We just constantly get so much trading stuff. I mean, we've got all this stuff in here, which, in fact, we can open these. That upgrades your wings, but I think I can't upgrade my wings any further, so they're a bit pointless now, for the time being, anyway. It gives you another chest each time. That just turns into those things. So as I was saying, yeah, to me the game has just got really boring, because one of the major problems is, because it's in Chinese, the dialogue, or the speech should I say, it's I have no idea what's going on. And I mean, it's okay if this is your culture and you understand. I mean, a lot of these things are probably culture related, all the sort of dragons and the fish and the kites and everything else that's in this game. If you understand all that, and you know, it's got a big story behind this, but if you're like me, who's English, you can't understand it. You know, there's no explanation to it, and that makes it very difficult. So I'm sort of running around in a strange world, not being able to understand the thing, not being able to understand what's being said while the story's going on, and it's kind of like, well, yeah, there you go. I haven't got a clue what's going on, I haven't got a clue what I'm supposed to do. I'm just literally following the arrows, and I mean, I know a lot of MMOs are story based, but you generally get the idea. But this thing, to me, it's just too confusing. There's just too much going on. You need to sort of come into this a bit at a time, but it's just like, I mean, the prologue was fine. I kind of understood the prologue, but once we got past that, I'm just following like yellow markers, literally auto-piloting to every spot, clicking a few buttons, mission done, level 30. You know, then it'll be level 40, level 50. It's just, how did I get to that level? I have no idea. I don't know what I've actually really done to get there. You know, it's something like Skyforge now. I could say, well, you know, I beat these zones, I beat these creatures, I defeated those invasions, I became a god. You know, and all the rest of it. I can tell you what I did, but this, all I could say is, well, I just sort of clicked autopilot and it kind of upgraded me each time. So, yeah, I can't see I'm actually going to come and play this, you know. I mean, it's a lovely looking game. Well, in more ways than one you can say, I suppose. But no, scenically, it's a very nice looking game. But also at the same time, I mean, there's just there's far too much going on in it. And the only one thing I would say, which I don't like about the game, I suppose you might say, I mean, I know we can all say, right, the way she dresses, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's very short dress, all the rest of it. They're selling it, you know, it's almost like a sex sale kind of thing. Yeah, fine, it's within borders, shall we say. But I have come across a couple of times, you'll come across literally what appears to be a child wearing almost nothing, and that to me is a little bit disturbing. I find myself very uncomfortable with that in this game. You know, it's kind of pushing the borders, or whatever you might say, a bit too far. I mean, this one, yeah, she's obviously an adult, whatever, fine. But when you come across some that just seem like small children, they might not be. I don't know, it's a game. It's only pixels, but you know, you do come across that, and as me sitting here seeing it, I get uncomfortable with that, and I sort of like, ooh, I don't really want to be here, you know. So there is that element to it as well, which, yeah, kind of puts a bit of a, I don't know, a bad point to the game. But aside from that, like I say, the whole game itself is very nice, and like I say, if this is your culture, now you can probably and you understand it, and you know the language and stuff, you're going to probably love this game, you know. I mean, there's a hell of a lot to do, but if you're a learner to these sort of things, I think you're going to struggle with this one. You know, I mean, it's basically a well-developed game that's being converted to English, I suppose, and that's the problem with it. It's not sort of starting off and you're learning it and then expanding, it's already there. And let's go back into the... let me just go onto this because it's easier. You see, look at the tabs here. I mean, you've got all of those, you've got all of those. You've got a whole load along the top line there. And they all have tabs under tabs. It's like trying to learn an office program or something. There's just so much to it. I mean, some people will find it quite easy, but for me, it's just too much going on. When we come to this, that's these things down here, your skills, combat skills. You've got special skills, you've got flying skills. So you'd have to learn all that. That's the same thing. Guilds, create a guild if you like. I don't know what that is. It's probably raids or something. Get a job if you want somehow. I don't know. Like I say, there's tabs under tabs. I mean, the other day I played for hours, and I opened up something. I don't know where it is now. It's, like I say, it's that confusing. And I just found a whole load of new stuff, and I was just like, really? I only put my skill points on like yesterday or something like that. I didn't even, you know, I know there's probably skill points in here. I never really bothered to look, and then it suddenly occurred to me that maybe I should have a look. And I had like, what did I have? I don't know, 800 skill points or something ridiculous. So, and all this. Oh yeah, there's a crafting thing as well somewhere. Yeah, this is the kind of crafting, but there's I don't actually know where it is. Let me have a quick look. I don't know what all that is. Again, it's all in Chinese, so I couldn't tell you. This, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Definitely don't know what that is. And again, I have no idea what all this is. Yeah, there was a thing where you... There's that as well. I just hit mark, I don't know what that means, but it does something. And then there's that. And that. And that just took me out of the game. There we go. Yeah, there's these. You can go to these things, trials, daily things, and all sorts. We get rid of that. He says. Yeah, there is somewhere where you've got like a crafting tree for like chopping trees down, and no, it's all controls now. Yeah, chopping trees down, mining, that sort of thing. And farming and God knows what else. I mean, there's so much, and I haven't even scraped the surface of that yet. It hasn't even sort of introduced me to any of that yet. That's just something you've got to sort of work out on your own. Now, like I say, if this is your language and your culture, then you're probably going to find it. I've heard it's very big on its storyline, but so far, I've only understood the actual prologue part, kind of. And once we came out of that, I'm just literally running around like. I might run to a restaurant and serve some soup or something, then I might run out to a forest to give somebody a flag or something, and it's just all a bit, you know, beyond me. And even though you've got all that going on, I'm actually completely bored. So, let me pick up all this stuff. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just mark it again, I don't know what that does, come on, anything, click that. Click that. No idea. It says there's a thing there, so. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to bother with this one because there's just too much, and I think it would probably take me, well, non-stop. You'd have to play this day in, day out, hours on end to get the gist of it, or to stick with it. I think it's going to be such a grind fest to keep with this thing. And like I say, if I've played it for so many hours and I'm already getting bored of it, and like I said, the only reason I'm getting bored with it, I think, is because of the lack of understanding, maybe of the story, the language, and the rest of it. And I think that's what holds it back, you know. And like I say, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, the game runs fine. The fighting's a little bit of a funny one, because with this character, anyway, I haven't tried the other characters. With this one, when you fight, you use the spells all the time because you're an occultist, and every time you use a spell, like she's running like that to avoid, or whatever, you know, avoid your enemy. And any time a spell, and she stops for like 2 seconds. And she's going to get hit every time. So every time she casts a spell, she will get hit. Once, twice, whatever. And then you cast again and she gets hit. But if you move too early, it cancels your spell, but you've still got the cooldown. Even though it's cancelled the spell, you've still got a cooldown, so the fighting's a little bit iffy on that side. But I mean, they give you a lot of stuff. You got a horse, you got wings, you got. Let's jump on the horse. No, I said horse, not wings. Horse. So there's your horse. She side saddles it. But yeah, that's the funny thing. It's when the horse tilts. Look, that is so weird. And the other side of it, she is tiny on that horse. I mean, hang on, let me turn it around. Look, look, she's tiny. She's about the size of that horse's head. And she's not a small character, this one, either. She's about, like, as tall a character as you can get. But I mean, that's just one of those things. I mean, that's here or there, really. That's just aesthetics, you know. And that parcel there must be something. Oh, it's that thing again. Now it works. Okay. But like I said, I don't know what that is. It just gives you stuff or something like that. So it will go away eventually. There we go. Yeah. So, like I say, not only that, I mean, playing this game, like I just said, it's gonna take. If I really wanted to get into it, it was really my thing. Yeah, so I mean, if you're gonna play this, I mean, you've got to throw a hell of a lot of hours into it. It'll suck up most of your life, I think. This will. You know, I mean, just there's so much going on. I mean, look at it this way. I don't know what's going on in the story, and I'm not really in depth with it. I'm getting actually very bored of it, and yet when I come on, I look through my inventory, I click on things, I sort of get rid of stuff, I upgrade armory stuff that I might have had. And that's taking me somewhere. Yeah, this is the autopathing. I've just clicked something, it's going to take me to an event. Yeah, so I click stuff, I sell stuff, I do whatever, get rid of it. I mean, you're talking several hours, it's gone. And that's before I've even actually done anything, like actually gone anywhere to do any kind of missions and that, you know. Once you start doing the missions, I mean, the other morning I was here till 2 in the morning or something, you know. I started sort of early evening, so. And like I said, the levelling up is just crazy. I mean, you just literally level up so quickly. I mean, I'm up to 30, but I've hit that wall where I can't get past the group thing, so I haven't gone any further. But I mean, literally one evening I'd just sort of level up 25 to 30 or 20 to 30. So here you go, you get to the quest, click quest, click continue, and take. Job done. And that's what you do, like, to get to this 30 at least. That's all I've done, literally, is just autopath, click, 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 done. Autopath, click, 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 done. So, but if you do like your text, you've certainly got a lot of reading to do. Especially when they come up with any dialogue, but be warned, when you get further into the game at the moment, I know it's only in the beta, it's in beta, but when you get further into the game, it's all in Chinese or an Asian language, so there you go. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'm not going to make a series out of this or do much more with it for the time being. I may pop in now and again in the future, because obviously I've got it on the thing, and if they change things now, obviously I'll come back. If they put English sort of speech into it, then I'll definitely be back, but we'll see what happens. So after having said all that, there's no reason not to try this game. If you don't want to, you can go out. It's going to be a free-to-play model anyway, so just as well. I don't think it's too excessively big to download. I can't remember, but no, it's like I say, that's my impressions of it. I struggle, like I say, because obviously the language isn't there yet, and there's a lot of text boxes, and if you like reading text boxes, go for it. If you don't, you're not going to enjoy this, because you're going to have to do a lot of that. And Again, I can't seem to follow what's going on. It just seems very random. A lot of auto pathing, a lot of just sort of click, 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 getting XP and all the rest of it. And kind of not enjoying that. I'm not really following a story, not really sort of feeling I'm accomplishing anything. So, a little bit bored of it. But like I say, that's my impression. If you want to try it, when it comes out, go and download it, give it a go, see what you think.